Wanting to make music at home? These are 5 things that you'll need to get started. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And as I said in the intro, if you are wanting to start making music at home, there are some things, some pieces of gear that you're going to need to get. What are they? Maybe you're new to recording at home. Well, in this video, I'm gonna show you the 5 things that you're gonna want to pick up. And the prices vary so much on this stuff, and you actually might have some of these things available to you already. All right, now to the video, but before we do, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free to do. And if you want to continue to support the channel, down below in the description, there are other ways that you can do that. All right, the first thing you're gonna need is a computer. And it doesn't matter if it's a laptop or desktop. Usually desktops are more powerful, but you can run a very powerful DAW or software with just a simple laptop. And running software and DAWs, it doesn't really require that much horsepower, especially if you set up your projects right. I know people who run on desktops that are well over 10 years old and they still can run Pro Tools and a bunch of plugins, and it's not a problem on the machine at all. Hopefully you already have a laptop or a desktop that you can use to run your DAW. And the next thing you want to get is a DAW. And basically what a DAW is, it is the software that you use to record your music. And there are a lot of options out there. Pro Tools, Logic, Cubase, it's a very long list and all of them are pretty good. And you can get into the DAW game for not that much money. I use Cubase, so I looked online and you can get their entry-level Cubase 12 elements for only $99. But that is just my preference. You can also get free trial downloads, so maybe if you want to test some other DAWs out and kind of figure out which one you like the most, I suggest doing that, because why spend money if you end up hating it? Try them out for free and then buy the one that you like the most. And one nice thing about the way some of the companies are doing it now is you don't have to go out and buy a full version every couple years for $500 just to kind of stay on top of the latest DAW. You can actually come in at a lower price point and then just slowly upgrade as you go along. So that seems a little happier for the wallet. All right, the next piece of gear that you're gonna wanna buy is an interface. And a very simple way to explain what an interface is, you have your microphones, those go into the interface then sends it to the computer. And interfaces run all over the place when it comes to price. You can get one for $99 or less if you wanna go use on Reverb.com, or you can spend thousands upon thousands of dollars for an interface. So you're gonna wanna think about how you're going to use it. Are you gonna be tracking full bands, a drum set, maybe just you're doing a vocals only, maybe you just need a stereo setup. Lots of options out there with audio interfaces. I run 2 interfaces on 2 different rigs. One of them is just a 2-channel and the other one is an 8-channel. So depending on what you need, you can get the appropriate channels. And interfaces usually come with other options such as MIDI in and out, ADAT, your sends and returns, so they can be very flexible if you want to spend the money. So just to recap before we get to the next item, you're going to want to have a computer, you're going to have software for that computer, and you're going to want to have an audio interface so you can run your signals and your microphones and things like that into the audio interface to then go into the software that's on the computer. So next up might be the most important piece. It is your playback system. And depending on where you live, if it's an apartment or maybe you share a studio or you live in a house, that can change on what you get. You can get big old beefy studio monitors, or you can get a decent pair of headphones. The choice is really yours. And the reason I say this is maybe the most important piece is if you can't hear what you're doing accurately, then there's a good chance you might not be doing a very good job. So you can come in with an entry-level set of studio monitors or headphones, but if you were to spend a little extra money somewhere, it might not be a bad idea to do it on your playback system. But with that said, depending on your application where you live, there is a wide array of options available starting at under $100 on up to tens of thousands if you have that kind of money. The good news is there are a lot of options out there that range all over price-wise. So if you're on a budget, you will not have a problem finding a good set of headphones or a good set of studio monitors. All right, the last piece that is very important as well is microphones. Now granted, if you're gonna be doing everything in the box, then microphones don't really matter to you. If you're only gonna be tracking instrumentals and doing it all with virtual instruments, then you need a keyboard, but chances are you might be playing guitar or singing vocals or something like that, so you'll need microphones. And again, it comes down to the application. If you're just doing vocals, then you're only gonna need one input, and like I said earlier, then your audio interface, you only need one XLR input. But if you're someone who's wanting to track acoustic guitar, then having the stereo option, 2 channels, could be very handy. Or if you're wanting to track a whole drum set, then you're gonna have to adjust appropriately by buying the proper microphones and the proper interface. But again, if you're on a budget, there are some good microphone options out there. You can do a lot of damage with one SM57. Or you can spend a little more money and you can get like a Sennheiser 421. Or you can spend a lot more money and get all kinds of things. But again, the option comes down to you and what you're gonna use it for. Maybe start small and expand from there. Okay, I have one more. It's kind of a bonus one, and it goes without saying, but you'd be surprised how many people mess this up, and that is getting the proper cables. You're gonna wanna make sure you have the proper TRS cables, the proper TS cables, if you need MIDI or XLR. or even adapters for headphones. It's the worst to get halfway through putting all your fun stuff together and realizing you have to stop and then leave and go to the store and buy what you need and then come back. That's just not fun. You want to dive in and get it all set up in one go. So I hope you found that helpful. Those are the 5 things that you will need to get started recording music at home. Of course, the list could go on forever. Like I said, if you're working only in the box, then maybe you don't need microphones, but you need a MIDI controller or a MIDI keyboard. So there's lots of little variants with all this, but those are the main 5 things that I started with that got me to where I am today, which is spending most of my money on music gear. This all was very beginner level, but I feel like that is very important to get across, and I hope you found it helpful. And again, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I will truly appreciate it. And until next time, see you later.